Millions of people with diabetes eat oatmeal every single morning. They've been told it's one of the healthiest breakfast choices they can make. They read it in articles. They heard it from their doctor. They see it on every diabetes-friendly food list. And yet, some of those same people are checking their blood sugar an hour after breakfast and seeing numbers that don't make sense. Numbers that are higher than expected, higher than they should be after a supposedly healthy meal. So what is actually going on? Is oatmeal helping your blood sugar or quietly raising it? The answer is not as simple as most people think. And today, we are going to go through everything you need to know. The science, the mistakes, the differences between types of oatmeal, and exactly how to eat it in a way that actually supports your blood sugar control instead of working against it. Stay until the end, because the #1 oatmeal mistake that most people with type 2 diabetes make every single day is not what you think it is. Section 1: The oatmeal myth. Is it helping or raising your blood sugar? Let's start with the question that nobody asks directly enough. Can oatmeal raise blood sugar in people with diabetes? The answer is yes. It absolutely can. And for a significant number of people with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, it does regularly, predictably, and without any obvious sign that the oatmeal is the cause. But here's where it gets interesting. For other people with the same condition, oatmeal produces a manageable, moderate blood sugar response that genuinely supports their glucose control over time. Two people with type 2 diabetes, same breakfast, completely different blood sugar outcomes. How is that possible? The answer lies in three specific factors that most conversations about oatmeal and blood sugar never address clearly enough. The type of oatmeal matters enormously. Instant oatmeal and steel-cut oats are not the same food from a blood sugar perspective, even though they come from the same grain. How the oatmeal is prepared matters. What you add to it, how long you cook it, and what else is on your plate alongside it all influence the glucose response your body produces. And when you eat, it matters. Morning insulin sensitivity, the dawn phenomenon, and the timing of your first meal of the day all interact with oatmeal in ways that most people have never been shown. By the end of this video, you will understand all three of these factors clearly, and you will know exactly how to make oatmeal work for your blood sugar, not against it. Let's talk about the science in plain language, because understanding what actually happens after you eat oatmeal is the foundation of everything else we're going to discuss. When you eat oatmeal, your digestive system breaks down the carbohydrates it contains into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream. Your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas releases insulin to signal your cells to absorb that glucose. And over the next hour or two, your blood sugar returns toward baseline. That's the basic process. And it happens with virtually every carbohydrate-containing food. What makes oatmeal potentially different from other breakfast carbohydrates is a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Beta-glucan is found in oats, particularly in less processed varieties, and it has been studied fairly extensively for its effects on blood sugar and cholesterol. When beta-glucan encounters liquid in your digestive tract, it forms a thick, viscous gel. That gel slows the movement of food through your intestines, and critically slows the rate at which glucose is absorbed into your bloodstream. Slower glucose absorption means a more gradual, more moderate blood sugar rise, instead of a sharp spike that demands a large, rapid insulin response. You get a slower curve that your body has more time to manage. In theory, this makes oatmeal an excellent choice for blood sugar control. In practice, several things can completely eliminate that benefit, and for people with significant insulin resistance, even the best-case oatmeal scenario may still produce a blood sugar response that is higher than ideal. Here's why insulin resistance changes everything. In a person without diabetes, the body's insulin response is efficient and well-calibrated. Even a moderate blood sugar rise from oatmeal is managed effectively. Insulin is released in the right amount at the right time, glucose is cleared from the bloodstream, and blood sugar returns to normal relatively quickly. In a person with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, that process is compromised. The cells don't respond to insulin as efficiently. The pancreas may release insulin with a delay or in insufficient quantities, and the glucose from oatmeal, even with beta-glucan slowing absorption, can accumulate in the bloodstream and produce readings that are meaningfully higher than expected. This is why oatmeal does not affect everyone the same way. And this is why the type of oatmeal you choose and how you prepare it matters so much more for people with diabetes than for the general population. This is one of the most important things you will learn today, and it's something that most general nutrition advice completely glosses over. Not all oatmeal is the same food. Instant oatmeal, rolled oats, and steel-cut oats all come from the same grain, whole oats groats. But the processing each type undergoes changes its physical structure in ways that directly affect how quickly your body digests it and how significantly it raises your blood sugar. Steel-cut oats are the least processed form. They are whole oat groats that have been cut into 2 or 3 pieces with steel blades. Their dense, intact structure means they take longer to digest. Beta-glucan has more time to form its gel, glucose absorption is slower, and the resulting blood sugar response is more gradual and more moderate. Steel-cut oats typically take 20 to 30 minutes to cook, which is part of why they are less commonly eaten. But from a blood sugar perspective, they are consistently the best option for people with type 2 diabetes. Rolled oats, sometimes called old-fashioned oats, are steamed and then flattened with rollers. This processing partially breaks down the oat structure, making digestion faster than steel-cut oats. They cook in 5 to 10 minutes. Their glycemic impact is higher than steel-cut oats, but still significantly lower than instant oatmeal. Instant oatmeal is the most heavily processed form. The oats have been pre-cooked, dried, and rolled very thin so they can be prepared in just 1 or 2 minutes with hot water. This extensive processing has largely broken down the structure that makes whole oats beneficial for blood sugar. Beta-glucan is less effective in this form. Digestion is faster, and the blood sugar spike produced is substantially larger than either steel-cut or rolled oats. And here is where it gets worse. Most instant oatmeal on the market is flavored brown sugar and cinnamon, maple and brown sugar, fruit and cream. These products contain significant amounts of added sugar, sometimes 12 to 20 grams per packet. That added sugar completely overwhelms any remaining blood sugar benefit from the oat fiber content and turns what sounds like a healthy breakfast into a rapid glucose delivery system. 2 bowls of oatmeal, same portion. One made from steel-cut oats with no added sugar, one made from a flavored instant packet. These 2 meals can produce blood sugar readings that are dramatically different from each other, and many people with type 2 diabetes have been eating the version that raises their blood sugar significantly without ever realizing it. If oatmeal is part of your daily routine, knowing which type you're eating is not a minor detail. It may be the single most important factor in determining whether your breakfast is supporting your blood sugar control or quietly undermining it every single morning. Now, let's talk about the biggest oatmeal mistake. And I want to be direct about this because it's something that affects a very large number of people with type 2 diabetes who are trying to do the right thing. The number 1 mistake is eating oatmeal alone. Bowl of oatmeal, even steel-cut, even unsweetened, even prepared perfectly, primarily a carbohydrate meal, and carbohydrates consumed without protein or healthy fat to slow their digestion and moderate the insulin response, produce a more aggressive blood sugar spike than the same carbohydrates eaten alongside protein and fat. When you eat oatmeal alone, the fiber in the oats does some work to slow digestion, but there is nothing else in the meal providing the additional metabolic break that protein and fat offer. When you eat oatmeal with a meaningful source of protein, eggs, alongside your oatmeal, a portion of Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts mixed in, the entire meal digests more slowly. The glucose absorption curve flattens. The blood sugar response becomes more moderate and more manageable. Adding healthy fats does the same thing. A spoonful of almond butter or a small portion of walnuts mixed into your oatmeal changes the glycemic character of that meal in ways that are directly measurable in your post-breakfast blood sugar readings. The Second mistake is what people add to oatmeal, thinking it's healthy: honey, brown sugar, dried fruit, flavored creamers, a glass of fruit juice alongside, even maple syrup in amounts that seem modest. All of these additions add significant sugar loads on top of the carbohydrate content of the oatmeal itself. And all of them can take a breakfast that should be supporting your blood sugar control and transform it into one of the highest glycemic meals of your entire day. If you want to add sweetness to your oatmeal, cinnamon is your best option. It adds flavor without sugar, and as we discussed in a previous video, certain compounds in cinnamon may actually support insulin sensitivity over time. Berries, in a small portion, are a better fruit option than dried fruit because they contain fiber and have a lower glycemic impact than concentrated dried versions of the same fruit. And the third mistake is cooking oatmeal too long. The longer oats cook, the more their physical structure breaks down, and as that structure breaks down, digestion becomes faster, and the blood sugar response becomes larger. Slightly undercooked oats still with some texture, some chewiness produce a more moderate glucose response than oats cooked until completely soft and creamy. This is counterintuitive for many people. Softer food feels more processed, less natural. But in this case, the texture is actually telling you something real about how your body will digest what you're eating. Now let's connect this to something that is central to everything we discuss on this channel: timing. Because for people with type 2 diabetes, when you eat, oatmeal may matter almost as much as which type you eat and how you prepare it. Your body's insulin sensitivity follows a natural daily rhythm. It tends to be highest in the morning and declines progressively through the afternoon and evening. This means your body is generally best equipped to handle a carbohydrate-containing meal earlier in the day, when insulin is working more efficiently and your metabolism is running at a higher rate. On that basis, morning is typically the best time to eat oatmeal for people with type 2 diabetes. Your body has more metabolic tools available to manage the glucose response compared to later in the day. But here's where it gets complicated. Some people with type 2 diabetes experience something called the dawn phenomenon, a natural rise in blood sugar that happens in the early morning hours as hormones like cortisol and growth hormone prepare the body for waking up. We've covered this in detail in a previous video. For people with significant dawn phenomenon, blood sugar is already elevated before they eat breakfast, and adding a carbohydrate meal on top of that elevation can produce morning readings that are higher than expected, even when the breakfast itself seems reasonable. If you notice consistently high blood sugar readings after your morning oatmeal, the dawn phenomenon may be a contributing factor. In that case, pairing your oatmeal with more protein, choosing steel-cut oats over rolled or instant, and monitoring your glucose 1 hour and 2 hours after eating gives you the clearest picture of how your body is actually responding. What about oatmeal at night? This is something to approach with caution. As we discussed in the context of other foods on this channel, nighttime is when your body's insulin sensitivity is at its lowest and your metabolism is slowing in preparation for sleep. A carbohydrate-heavy food eaten late in the evening, eaten oatmeal, produces a blood sugar response that your body is least equipped to manage efficiently. That glucose can persist through the night, elevate your overnight blood sugar levels, and contribute to higher fasting readings the next morning. If you enjoy oatmeal as an evening snack, choosing a very small portion of steel-cut oats with significant protein alongside and eating it at least 2 hours before sleep gives your body the best chance of managing the glucose response before your metabolism fully shifts into its nighttime state. For most people with type 2 diabetes, morning remains the optimal time. With the right type, the right preparation, and the right additions, oatmeal in the morning can be a genuinely supportive breakfast choice. Let's bring everything together with the direct answer to the question in our title: should people with type 2 diabetes eat oatmeal every day? The honest answer is, it depends. And now you have the information to figure out what it depends on for you specifically. Oatmeal can absolutely fit into a diabetes-friendly diet. The beta-glucan fiber in oats has genuine, documented benefits for blood sugar management when the oatmeal is the right type, prepared in the right way, eaten at the right time, and combined with the right foods. Steel-cut oats or minimally processed rolled oats, not instant, not flavored packets prepared without added sugar, paired with protein and healthy fat, eaten in a reasonable portion. In the morning, when insulin sensitivity is higher, that combination gives oatmeal the best possible chance of supporting your blood glucose control, rather than undermining it. But if you're currently eating flavored instant oatmeal alone every morning, drinking juice alongside it, and then checking your blood sugar an hour later and wondering why the numbers are high, now you know why. And now you know exactly what to change. The goal is never to fear food. The goal is to understand how your body responds to specific choices and to make those choices deliberately, rather than based on general advice that wasn't designed with type 2 diabetes in mind. Your glucose monitor is your most honest feedback tool. Check your blood sugar before eating oatmeal and again 90 minutes to 2 hours after. That data tells you more about how oatmeal is affecting your specific body than any general recommendation ever could. Small adjustments, choosing the right type, adding protein, skipping the added sugar, eating at the right time, often produce significantly better blood sugar outcomes than eliminating oatmeal entirely, and that applies to almost every food conversation in diabetes management. It's rarely about elimination. It's almost always about understanding and adjustment. Now, before you go, I need to ask you something directly. Did you like this video? If yes, hit the like button right now, not later. Now, it takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach more people with diabetes who genuinely need this information and have never found it explained this clearly. Are you subscribed to Health Insight MD? If not, hit subscribe right now. We publish evidence-based diabetes content every single week. Practical information, real science, no exaggeration, no miracle promises, just the truth about what is actually affecting your blood sugar and what you can actually do about it. You do not want to miss what is coming next. And now your comment. Have you ever noticed your blood sugar go up or down after eating oatmeal? Which type do you usually eat? Instant, rolled, or steel cut? Leave your answer below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today to finally understand what has been happening with their own glucose readings every morning. Your comment takes 10 seconds, and it might genuinely help someone who has been confused and frustrated for years. We'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.